Yo, 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 everybody. What's up? What's up? Welcome in. Welcome in. If this is your first time hanging out with us here on the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate you liking the stream, subscribing to the page for more horror movie talk stuff like this, videos, content, streams, all kinds of things happening here. In fact, I'm watching the series Dexter for the very first time right now. I've never seen it before, and I'm almost through the first season, so check out those videos. They're pretty dang cool. Just posted a new one today publicly. And if you're a channel member or Patreon supporter, you can either see them early or see them uncut. Kind of cool. Kind of a cool little thing there. But anyways, we have horror to talk about, baby. It's 420, which is why the set is green. For no particular reason. But if you're hanging out with us, we have all kinds of horror to talk about. In fact, a lot of Evil Dead updates revolving around either The Mummy from Mr. Lee Cronin, if that wasn't obvious from the title. A whole bunch of weird updates have come through, so we're going to actually be talking a lot about Evil Dead tonight, which is a horror movie I did not put in the title of this stream, which I'm now realizing I fucked up. But what is cool about the title is that it goes from Scream 8 to Final Destination 7 to Scary Movie 6. 876. I thought that was cool. I thought that was fun. I couldn't avoid a good little numerical descend there, baby. But anyways, do you want to say hi to some of the wonderful folks who are hanging out with us, ready to talk some horror, baby? Yes! Like RJ Skarenki, who's saying, always glad to be here to talk horror with you. That's what I'm talking about, baby. RJ, I hope you got an iced coffee ready to rock and roll. It's Monday, baby, and I'm fired up. Ethan White is saying hi. What's up, Ethan? How we doing? Welcome in. Is that the dead Duolingo bird in your profile picture? Did you kill him? What does his meat taste like? The Jester is saying, hey Jake, happy 420, happy 420. I hope you're celebrating responsibly. Paula Fitzhenry, thank you for being a channel member. Hi, hello, what's up, what's up? Welcome in. Thanks for talking a little horror with us. I appreciate you. Erica Stabs for likes. What's up, Erica? How we doing? Hey, hey, hey. Welcome in, welcome in. YB Coraline. I just love the Coraline reference right there. What's up, my dude? Hi, Jake and Erica. What up, what up? How we doing? Red Hood Venom is saying hi. Hi. Hello. What's your cool ass profile picture here? What's going on here? There's some symbols, some green. Green's a, kind of a favorite color around here, if you couldn't tell. So I love that. Carlos is also with us. What's up, Carlos? I think your shirts, Jake. I'm glad you're thinking about my shirt. I think about the letter G all the time too. It's a good letter. It's one of the good ones, frankly. I imagine you mean you like my shirt. Yes, little Ghostface action. G is for Ghostface. Can you? Would you be able to tell it was you behind you? If he brought his little gloved hands in front of you, I love that. I love that. Erica's saying, I saw the 876 and liked that. You know what, Erica? You got taste. That's what's up. I'm glad you liked it. I liked it too. YB is saying G is for glad to be here. I love you, YB Coraline. You're amazing. The positivity in this stream has already reached unfathomable levels just 3 minutes in. So good. So good. The Jester's also with us saying, I sure am. Watch Dazed and Confused and currently watching Idle Hands, my two favorite stoner movies. Oh, man. Whew. That's a crazy double feature. That's really good. I don't know what I want to watch tonight because I might be watching movies, with a little something, little pairing. I'm thinking Scary Movie, dude. It's been a minute since I've watched Scary Movie, and dude, we're getting close, guys. I mean, I don't know if y'all realize we're almost like a month away from a new Scary Movie. And we got a lot of movies that come out until then. Wow. I mean, dude, the rest of April, we got a few good movies still left to come. And then May is going to be outrageous. May, we have like every single week, there's some sort of big horror or horror adjacent release. If it's Hokum from Damian McCartney, Mortal Kombat 2 the next week after that. After that, then we get back to horror a little bit because Mortal Kombat's horror, but it's like horror adjacent. You know what I mean? We get some blood and guts. We get some fighting action. But it is a little bit of this and that. Then we got Obsession, which is the movie I'm maybe the most excited for next month. Ooh, baby. And then Backrooms after that. Oh. And then a Scary Movie after that. Holy fuck. I mean, it doesn't stop. The horror pipeline, man. It's like it's just going to keep coming and coming. And yeah, I said what I said. Alpha Warlock saying hello with a whole bunch of weird oohs. I like that at the end. What's up, Alpha Warlock? Welcome in. Thanks for being with us. Robbie and the 3 cats is saying hello. What's up, Robbie and all 3 of your cats? Thanks for being with us tonight. The Ben is with us. I always have trouble with your name for some reason. Sodist. This is Ben. How are you? Thank you for the 5. I appreciate the support. Jake, happy 420, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's a holiday we all celebrate around here. Cannot wait for Obsession, Ice Cream Man, and Terrifier 4. Oh, great choices. Very excited for all 3 of those. That was not 4 movies. That was 3 movies. Did you catch WrestleMania this weekend? Mixed bag. You know, I've talked a bit about this on the page. I love that horror and wrestling, like a lot of those fans seem to be one. These are fandoms that tend to be one and the same, and I think that's amazing. I just never got into wrestling. I've had people try to show it to me, and I don't know. I'm just not like, it's not my, it might not be my thing, and that's totally okay. But I think it's awesome that so many like horror people and wrestling people are kind of like all in the same bag. I think that's dope. I've met a lot of people who are super into wrestling, who are super cool and super kind. And I think that's dope as hell. So I respect wrestling and that whole community, and I think it's really cool that they're like kind of like our little cousins. They're like, we're like cousins, the horror community, the wrestling community, and I love that. So it's like we're kind of like 2 camps here that are just like giving the thumbs up to each other constantly. So I love that shit and I respect that shit. So wrestling, 2 thumbs up from Jake. I guess I'm just not really like that big into it though, sadly. So it's not necessarily my thing, but I'm so glad that a lot of us are in the same community. I think that's great. Mixed bag though. You weren't crazy about it. I'm so sorry. That's no fun. Maybe the next one will be better. That's my... See, I don't even like talking about things that I don't know a whole lot about because I got nothing. I hope the next one's better. There's a next one, right? There's going to be a next one? I don't know. Oh, man. Beer Belly Angler, what's up, my friend? How are you? Oh, and Ben, thank you for the 5. Thank you for the support. Beer Belly Angler saying, saw Undertone and I wish I saw it in theaters. Oh, dude. Honest to God, that's some of the most unsettled I feel like I've been watching a horror movie recently. That one that shot up my list for favorite horror film of the year. It's not number 1, but it's up there somewhere. Undertone is getting a lot of weird hates, and I remember walking. So when the movie ended, and if you've seen it, you know this. I won't spoil anything, but I will tell you the reaction from the audience. There was some teenagers sitting behind us, and when the movie ended, they're like, "That's it?" Like just so all upset, and I'm just like, like, dude, I don't know. I just like. Not everything needs to be a big jump scare movie. Some movies are just about creating atmosphere. And you know what? Undertone does it so fucking well. I was upset. I was upset watching that movie. I was just like goosebumps all over my body. Like, Jesus, when is this going to end? And you know what? Not a whole lot of movies can make me feel that way. And Undertone, it just delivered in those regards. So I loved it. I'm so glad I saw it in theaters. I was the only person in my group that I went to see it with that liked it too. So I know I'm in the minority, but I loved that movie. I'm going to be singing its praises. Bring on Paranormal Activity 8, coming from the same director, Ian Tewison. So that was a killer flick in my opinion. Really enjoyed that one. I wish it was a little, like, I definitely wish there was more to it, but I don't want more jump scares. It's not what I was looking for, but I wish there was more to the actual film. That was my only big criticism. But I didn't need more jump scares. I just needed more horror stuff. I was left wanting more, and I think that's kind of a good thing. The Jester is saying, I also got to see Lee Cronin's The Mummy in theaters yesterday. It was like a mixture of Evil Dead and The Exorcist, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. Seriously, the toenail scene was fucking wild. Dude, I was so upset. And you know, name a gross out horror movie. I've probably seen it and loved it. That was like one of the grossest things I've ever seen in a movie. I was like, oh my God. Oh no, absolutely the fuck not. I think just because of the way it happened, and I won't say any more than that. I don't want to spoil anything. There's something involving a toenail that is so hard to watch. And the movie is filled to the brim with some brutal, gross shit going on. And I love that about Lee Cronin movies, man. Oh my God. I mean, he always delivers something really hard to watch. and everything that he's done, I think. And The Mummy might have been the best. I think this movie was effectively grosser and harder to watch than Evil Dead Rise. At least for me, that toenail scene was insane. There's again, no spoilers. There's a kill halfway through the movie that was like just bonkers. Like, I don't know if it was like the craziest thing in the whole film, but it's fucking bonkers, and it keeps going. It just keeps going. You think it's over, and it keeps going. Oh my god. It's got a little bit of a Terrifier energy about it, which I wonder if that Leone's Pizza thing was a reference to Terrifier or not in there. I was thinking about that. Because I'm like, man, this movie's so gross. Like, Damien Leone would love it. Are him and Lee friends? That's my question, honestly, after walking away from that one. But yeah, much more like an Exorcist movie than Evil Dead, though, even. I would go so far as to say. I mean, it felt very much so like inspired by that original Exorcist, which I think is great. I think the big criticism that I'm on the fence about with the film is a lot of people wish that there was more to do about mummies. There was not a whole lot to do with mummies in the movie The Mummy. And I get that criticism. I didn't really mind, though. Like, it was just the impetus to get us to that point, to get us to this movie, this house with this girl who has something going on with her. And I loved that. I thought it was cool. It was a fun reinvention. It's like nothing else in the Mummy franchise, in a way. You know, there's been possession and stuff like that in other Mummy movies. There's a fuck ton of Mummy movies. I don't know if you guys know how many Mummy movies there are. My God. There's been possession in some of those other ones. If you watch the old ones, holy shit. But not like this. You know, this is like approaching it. We're approaching it more Exorcist style. We're approaching it more in a modern way, but in a good way still. And I loved it. I don't know. I had a really good time with it. I had my little critiques, little issues with it if you watch my review. But overall, it's a great rendition of that idea, that story. And I love this reimagining. It was a really fun watch. And guys, if you haven't seen it in theaters, I couldn't recommend it enough. It's for the sickos. It's for the freaks. And I'm both of those things. Bring it on. Whatever Lee Cronin does next, I will fucking be there. AJ is throwing $5 out there. Thank you, AJ. Thank you for your support. It's been ages since I've been able to catch a live stream, and now you've got a beard. It's crazy. I'm getting a whole lot of people lately, and I don't know if it's because I'm posting content like how I used to a couple years ago, or what it is, but a lot of people are coming back to the page right now, and they're saying, wow, you look different from the last time I watched a video. And I just think that's really funny. But yeah, I'm growing out my wizard beard, and hopefully every time we get more people come back, because not everyone can watch 24/7, I understand that, but when people do come back, I'm hoping every single time I have a little bit of a longer beard, and eventually I will be a horror wizard. That is my goal. With the rest of my time on YouTube, I want to become the horror wizard. Let's make that happen. Okay, lumberjack. I see what you did there. Bring me Final Destination 7. Bring me Final Destination 7. I want to be like a king. Like, bring it to me. I love that. I'm still high on Bloodlines, dude. Me too. I might watch that tonight. Hi. I might watch Final Destination Bloodlines tonight. Let me correct my earlier statement. I just misread what you said a second ago. Yeah, Final Destination Bloodlines, dude. Kick the fuck ass. Ooh, that was good. Probably one of my favorite franchise continuations. I think that when you're making something that's like a callback to a franchise that was beloved in the past, you have to have an element of nostalgia. But I feel like so many movies nowadays, and I'm looking at you, a certain sequel that just came out recently, that are so cheap and lazy with it and just, whatever. We'll just bring back all the old characters or something along those lines. Bloodlines genuinely built a cool story around one of the only constants between almost all the movies. And I thought that was really fucking cool. I don't know. Bloodlines, it's one of my favorite, requels, I guess. Some people will fight me on if Final Destination Bloodlines is a requel or not, but it's set up in such a similar way to so many of the other requel films we've gotten recently. It's hard not to look at something like that and also think Scream, Halloween 2018, Candyman, all those different movies that have gotten requels. It's all very similar reinventions in a way. And I don't know. I loved it. Bloodlines, I think, is one of the best to do it out of all those movies that we talk about, and I hope we get that same energy brought into Final Destination 7 of just doing your own thing and making it feel like right where we left off with the franchise. if Final Destination Bloodlines came out 2 years after Final Destination 5, I would change nothing. I would change nothing about the film because it feels like it came out right after one after the other. And I think that's dope. It has some modern inspiration for sure, but in terms of, what is the Final Destination series trying to do? They answer all those questions in the best way possible. And that's what I feel like a lot of franchises are forgetting to do. They're not hitting on all the big pillars of what makes certain franchises what they are. There's some Halloween sequels that I don't feel that way about. There's some Scream sequels now I don't feel that way about. Even Candyman 2021, which we were just talking about, a movie I really like, but there's elements to it that I'm just like, you could have done this a little differently, whatever. And man, I just think Bloodlines, it nailed it. It knocked it out of the park, man. So I love that film. I'm so excited that a lot of the same people are coming back for Final Destination 7. We do have a brand new director, however. And I know some people, whenever that happens, whenever we get a switch up of creators, that gets a little sketch. But no, I think this guy's going to be fucking awesome. From what we've heard about the dude, he's made some really cool short films. Short films that I feel like would totally fit the style of Final Destination in his own unique way. And that has me excited. That has me really hyped up to see what they've cooked up here. But AJ, thank you for the 5. I'm so glad that you love Final Destination Bloodlines as much as I do. Bring on part 7. I want keep that energy up. Let's make it happen. Alpha Warlock is saying, I enjoyed Undertone. The ending was all right. Looking forward to the prequel. I'm excited for it too. I want more. I want to see what else they can do with that story. Because I think the original, how that first movie feels like there could be more to that idea. There could be more that we unfold with all that. So I'm down for it. I'm down to see where it could go next. That would be fun. Who else is with us tonight? We got Astral Austin saying, Jake, have you ever watched Love Lies Bleeding? No, that's so funny. This is a movie that I keep trying to put on, and I just never actually sit down and watch it. This has been on my watch list for an eternity. I missed it at the theaters. I remember just getting busy when it was in theaters. I want to say it was February of 2024 or March maybe. It was early in 2 years ago, I want to say. I missed it at the theater, sadly. I've seen it on streaming before, and I'm like, oh, I'll watch that later. I just never have time when I think about it. But that is a movie I've been dying to put on. Because I love Kristen Stewart, who's in that movie. She's an actress that has really grown on me. The more projects I see that she's been in, the more I'm like, oh my god, she fucking kicks ass, dude. Does not get enough love. She's in Crimes of the Future, this weird little David Cronenberg movie, and I love her performance in that. She's such a little weirdo in that film and stands out so much. But I gotta see Love Lies Bleeding. Okay, I'm gonna have to you totally reminded me about that. I haven't thought about that in forever. Acres of Movies is saying hi and thanks from Stacy. You're welcome, Stacy. Who's Stacy? Make Scream on Elm Street under the stairs? Question mark. I've been seeing this trend on, I don't know if it's Instagram, wherever, but these mask makers who are taking different horror masks and cutting them up and putting them all pieced together in really interesting ways. There was a Ghostface and Michael mix up, and then I even saw someone do a Ghostface, Michael, and Jason mask, all cut and sewn together in different ways. I thought that was dope. That was pretty sick. Something like that. I bet that would make a gajillion dollars because people love some fucking nostalgia, baby. Acres of Movies is saying, did you like Strange Darling? Loved it. Loved that movie. Criminally underrated, criminally unseen. Movie so good. Such a good little story. Lots of twists, lots of turns. Brilliant the way they laid it all out, too. If you've seen it, Great movie. Wayne Turner is saying, Scream 7 and I Know What You Did Last Summer. Lazy ass writers. I know what that's too funny. I don't know. I don't know, man. You're working in such big franchises like that. It just feels like, why not put a little extra love, little something in there? I don't know. Sloppenheimer is saying, could Scream 7 get a lesser known director for it? Maybe Kevin Williamson was actually teasing us. Are you saying Scream 8? I think that's what's going on with Scream 8, though, in actuality. I think they are getting some, like, you know, the big rumors that the Soska sisters, Soska twins, they're in charge of it. And, you know, they're definitely lesser known. You know, if that's the case, yeah, there's definitely some things about them that are a little sketch. But you know, it's one of those situations where I just don't know. I don't know who else would approach it. You know, I think Scream 7, with everything that happened behind the scenes, it's almost made the franchise kind of taboo. We've actually heard from different filmmakers that have said things like, "I wouldn't touch that franchise with a 6-foot pole." And, you know, it's not because Scream is like bad or something. It's just because a lot of the decisions being made behind the scenes are kind of sketchy. You know, and I think a lot of people don't want to be associated with that anymore. So it's kind of put Scream in a very tough and weird spot. And that bums me out a little bit, because I love this franchise and I want to see it thrive, but it just feels like the pool is getting more and more narrow as to who will actually tackle the next project. So I think it's only, you know, it's one of those situations where it's like, unless they start fixing some things, maybe making some apologies, sending some I'm sorry letters to certain people, the franchise is just going to continue to be in this weird little limbo. So I'm hoping that happens, though. I'm an eternal optimist, so I'm always going to have faith that this franchise will spin in a different direction at some point. But, you know, for right now, it's just I guess it's dark days. It's dark days for Scream, which sucks. It's never fun. Erica is throwing $2 out there. Thank you so much for the support. 45 viewers and only 29 likes. Go hit that like button. Go hit that button. Slap it. Give it a slap. That sounds kind of gross. But Erica, you did not have to send a super chat to say that. I greatly appreciate you as always. Thank you. Yeah, like the stream. Do that, because it'd be pretty cool. Help get more horror fans hanging out with us in this little space here. So Erica, thank you for the support. Really appreciate that a bunch. Thank you. Ben is saying, I revisited Milk and Cereal the other night. So freaking good. I agree. Ooh, Curry Barker. I think that guy he's going to be a big name in a couple of years. Obsession is about to fucking melt some faces. I have heard overwhelmingly positive reviews about this film. Comes out in a couple of weeks. It's going to be the next big thing. There's no doubt about it in my mind. I cannot wait. Milk and Cereal, if you don't know, is a free found footage film. Like, just dudes made it, put it up online here on YouTube, and it's good. I mean, fuck, I'd go so far as to say the best found footage film of the decade so far. I thought it was great. I mean, it's got some great twists and turns. It's a quick watch, and it's disturbing as hell. It's awesome. Curry Barker, Cooper Tomlinson, those guys can do no wrong. They not only have Obsession, but they have another movie that's like already, like, I guess, in the can, and they're shopping it or something. It might be coming out from Blumhouse if I'm not mistaken, but it's something called like Anything But Ghosts. No idea what that's about. Probably ghosts, but man, these guys, they're busy and they make good shit consistently. Milk and Cereal is not the only great horror thing they have up on their page. That's a Bad Idea, which is their channel here on YouTube if you don't follow them. They have some other really good horror shorts as well. There's one called The Chair that is like super fucking iconic. I don't know how they could make that into a full feature, but I'd love to see it. Just so much good stuff over on that page. Horror-wise, it's mostly comedy stuff, but their horror stuff is so good. So Curry Barker, man, I can't wait to see what other shit he's got cooking up, but I know Obsession is going to be a hit. So do not miss that one in theaters here in a couple of weeks, because it's gonna kick all the balls. That doesn't make any sense, but it's gonna kick balls, baby. YB Coraline is saying, Jake, would you give me some advice to write a horror script? I'm basing it on the Evil Dead franchise. It's about a father sending his two children, 17 and 9, to their mother who was in rehab, but something goes wrong with her and she never healed. I mean, well, I guess I'm wondering where the Evil Dead influence is. Like, are we getting to a Necronomicon going on here or something? Is the mom possessed? You know, I truly think the best writing advice with, like, maybe if you're just starting off coming up with the idea, the best advice I could possibly give you is write something that, like, needs to be made. You know, people talk about, like, you know, a lot of ideas, a lot of horror ideas are like, well, what if I do this, but this? Instead, frame your idea like, well, you know, there's possession movies that have happened all the time, but what's a new way that I can spin it? You know, what's a way that it hasn't been done before that would make my idea fresh? And it doesn't have to be like completely reinventing the wheel, just possession film, but here's a completely different story, group of characters, setting, whatever, that would make this thing feel really fresh. You know what got me so fucking hyped about Scream 6? The New York setting. Just being genuine. We've never seen a Scream movie in New York City. I mean, imagine you never saw Scream 6 before. And coming into that movie, that was pretty exciting, right? It was like Scream in the big city, Scream in New York City. This is going to be cool. You're already thinking about other horror movies that are set in New York City that aren't necessarily in the Scream franchise. That's exciting. You know what I mean? Or Scream in the snow. We talk about that all the time. Everyone wants to see Scream in the snow. Why? Because we've never seen it before. You know what? I feel like if you can capture that somehow, you're going to write something good. So that's the best advice I could possibly give you. Just try to come up with something that, like, when someone heard your one sentence pitch of it, they'd get fucking hyped. Be like, ooh, I haven't seen that before. That's cool. Possession in the snow. Don't just do everything in the snow, but find a way to do something you really love, but a little differently than how you've seen it before. That's going to be my best advice. Just make something that needs to exist. It's like, oh, this needs to happen. I can't believe this isn't already in existence. The Jester is saying, yo, Jake, I have an idea for Terrifier 4. I was thinking the Rhea Ripley could be another Vicky. Dude, yes. Yes to this idea. I'm not worthy. That would be so cool. Rhea Ripley, we've seen her like dress up as Art the Clown. We've seen her pretend to get killed by Art the Clown. I mean, she is so enthusiastic about Terrifier. That's fucking great. I think she would kill it as Art the Clown's little buddy, little sidekick. You know what I mean? Running around, chopping people to bits, too, alongside him. That'd be so much fun. Samantha Scafidi is incredible in that role in Terrifier 3. I mean, she kind of... Yeah, the movie's great as it stands, but I mean, I almost feel like Vicky makes that movie, dude. I'd go so far as to say that. Wow. I mean, she's one of the scariest things about the entire Terrifier franchise. And I think Terrifier being able to branch out and not just have one killer. I mean, we have all kinds of antagonists in the Terrifier universe. That's so cool. I mean, I've never seen like, Ghostface has like other ghost faces, but I've never seen him team up with like a little mini monster or some bullshit. It's like, what? Art the Clown having like the little pale girl, for instance, in Terrifier 2 was such an insane monkey wrench that adds so much to that sequel. And it's the same thing with Terrifier 3. He's teaming up with Vicky and killing people. It's like, what? You add like this whole other dimension when there's like more than just one person running around chopping people to bits. And man, I love it. And it's something I was so worried about with Terrifier 3 is that they would shoehorn that in there. Because when we heard that, Vicky's coming back in a pretty prominent role for Terrifier 3, I was so worried it was going to be one of those situations where it's like, Damien just he doesn't want to let that die. He doesn't want to let that character from the first movie just go to the wayside. He wants to use all the pieces and parts he possibly can in this universe. Will that actually, help the story? And it did. I mean, that's a risk. Art the Clown is a fucking icon right now. And you're telling me you're going to have him share screen time with another killer that we're just kind of throwing in there? I mean, dude, that is... If I was a producer on that thing, I'd be like, I don't know, dude. Like, I think you should focus all in on Art the Clown. I mean, he's the big thing right now. But dude, Samantha Scafidi fucking kills it as Vicky in that movie. Like, wow. What a good choice. What a risky, ambitious choice that paid the fuck off. And I think Rhea Ripley also being a killer along those lines, that would just be so exciting. We've seen that it can work in the previous film. And now you have someone like Rhea Ripley who has that star power. Like we were talking about earlier, wrestling and horror, kind of the same community of people. You get someone like that in there in a prominent role, in a killer role. Yeah, that movie's gonna fucking make $1 trillion. So yes to that, my friend. I love it. Jordan Morales is saying, was the Final Destination Bloodlines ending real or was it a vision? I'm so confused. Someone answer. That's a great question. I mean, we don't really know as of right now, but what I will say is that we have the same writer, Laurie Evans Taylor, from the original, coming into this next one, so it's possible, but we do have a totally new director. Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein have jumped ship. That's a little dramatic. They left on very good terms. They just wanted to go and do something else. They just got announced for, was it Gears of War? Like some other big movie that they're now attached to, which is crazy. But yeah, no, they left on good terms. They wanted to make that one movie and then go do something else. And I think they killed it with Bloodlines. I'm really excited for this. Michael, like Blanchard or something is his name. I can't remember his last name. Michael something. Is this up and coming director who's going to do Seven. And I hope he puts his own spin on it for sure. I know he's not writing necessarily. I think it's just Laurie Evans Taylor who is penning the script. But I hope he's able to put his own spin on it with his own characters. You know, I know a lot of people want to see the people from the last movie live. But I'd kind of rather this just be its own separate story. Again, that's what I love about this franchise. It's like, you can't escape death. That's to me is the whole point. I think everyone's got to die, man. It's Final Destination. It's in the title, baby. it's right. It's in the title. Ella May Toke is saying, "Girl, I never want to work another 420 shift." Was a horror movie in itself. If I'm not mistaken, Ella, you work at a dispensary, so I can't even imagine. That must have been a line out the door. Must have been brutal out there. Ella, thanks for being with us. Thanks for hanging with us. Sorry you had a rough day at work. But I feel like you kind of knew that going into today, right? You've been planning this. You've been preparing for this day, I feel. Game Over Jesse is asking if I'm Spider-Man. I would never reveal my identity. Why are you asking? Stop asking questions you don't want the answers to. And you're not getting pictures of me. Okay? I'm not Spider-Man. Okay, anyways, let's get back to it. Channel 116 podcast is saying, will like for stabs. I'm scared and uncomfortable. I'm just kidding. Welcome in. You can stab the like button. I'll allow it. I'll allow it just this time. Eric Kerr. What's up, Eric Kerr? How you doing, Kerr? I've never seen Scream. It's pretty good. The original's a masterpiece. Some people are like, "Oh, watch the sequel first." Watch the original Scream first. It's so good. It's a masterpiece. The sequels are, some people feel very differently about pretty much all the sequels, but you got to watch the first one at the very least. It's a 10 out of 10. It's one of the most important horror films I think ever made, and it's what made me a fan. Was that Scream 4 I grew up with. That was like the Scream movie when I was growing up. The first one I saw. I went back and watched the original though, and I'm like, that was a fucking masterpiece. Wow. So if there's any good place to start with Scream, it's right from the beginning. Ooh. Mr. Jason Edits is saying Scream 6 is stupid, not gonna lie. Damn. You're just stomping all over my heart, Mr. Jason Edits. I love that stupid movie. Ben is throwing $5 out there. Thank you for the support again. Jake, do you prefer flour gummies or seltzers? Seltzer? I've never had a seltzer. I know they exist, but I've never had them before. Just like, that's so funny that's the other thing you threw in there. I don't know. That's an interesting 3 things to pick from. Also, I'm picking up Primate on physical media tomorrow, possibly Send Help and Dolly 2. Stoked. I have not seen Dolly yet, and it releases on Shudder, I believe Thursday. And I'm dying to fucking watch it. I have heard some very good things. We watched a movie specifically, love Mike and Jace. Shout out to them. They're so fucking cool. I spilled a beer on Mike one time. It was very funny. Dolly, I don't think they were super hot on it, but they did describe it as what In a Violent Nature is to Friday the 13th is what Dolly is to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And like, for me personally, that has me hyped. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to be watching it later on this week and doing a review of it though, when it drops on streaming, because I'm kind of like, I'm on the edge of my seat here, dude. I've heard a lot of buzz about this one, good and bad, and the bad stuff has me more excited for it. So I think I'm really gonna like that, but I'm hyped to check that one out. So interesting that you said that there. Primate and Send Help are on my must buy list for the year. Primate, it's not ending up on my top 10 of the year or anything like that, but Primate is a fun fucking movie. I will be watching that one many more times in the future. It's fucking hilarious. It's brutal as hell. I don't think the practical effects were that bad. I think y'all were overreacting, if I'm being honest. I thought it looked pretty good. And the setting, gorgeous. Blood and guts in paradise. It's the best juxtaposition you could possibly have for a horror movie. 10 out of 10, no notes. And I'm a gummy guy myself. Not most people are not, but I'm an adult gummy guy myself. So that's what I'll say for that. I'll have to try a seltzer sometime though. Ben, thank you for the 5. I greatly appreciate the support. I love all of that. I love everything you just said there. Send Help I also need to pick up. That's second favorite of the year so far, I think. That's my number 2. That's taking home the silver right now. Noah Music is saying 2 guys in a bathroom. I mean, hey, however you want to spend your Saturday night, Noah. Robbie and 3 Cats is saying if they are going to make us come out in the snow to see Scream, then Scream should be in the snow. You're brilliant. Can we like send that in a letter to Spyglass and Paramount? Because I love every single word of that. Acres of Movies is throwing out their ranking from best to least favorite, and you got one at the bottom. The criminal ranking right here. Flipped on its head. I'm just kidding. 7 would still be too high if we flipped it on its head. I'm just messing with you. I love your ranking, even though one at the bottom is a crime against humanity. I jest. I'm a silly little guy. What can I say? Astral Austin is saying, if I wanted to get your opinion on something horror related, what's the best way to reach you? We're doing it right now. You can also email me if you want. Dude, I'm going to be so honest with you. I have about like 100 Instagram messages. People send me stuff there all the time, and I greatly appreciate you all. If I start doing that, I'm going to have to reply. Like, it's going to take me a week to reply to messages over there. Greatly appreciate you all. But if you want to get in contact with me, send me an email. It's going to be the best way to get in contact with me. So that's just killjoyjake1@gmail.com. Send me a little email. But if you have questions about horror, we're live right now, baby. We're talking horror right fucking now. And it's great. And Acres of Movies just said Acid Mountain. If that was a movie title, I'd be like, I'm in. I want to see Acid Mountain. Jason Carpenter has been a member for 38 months. I don't even know how long that is. That's such a long time. That's crazy long. That's 3 years and 2 months. My God. Jason, thank you for the support. I greatly appreciate it. Just made it in, Jake. I thought The Mummy was solid, some hard gross out, and the runtime was a bit much. Still decent. Over Your Dead Body next. I gotta be honest. I did not walk out of the film being like 10 out of 10. I don't think it was a 10 out of 10, but it was still very solid. And I think I'm rooting for this movie a little more after seeing what the critics said about it. I feel like I typically agree with it. Like 80% of the time I agree with the critics, but this time they're wrong. They're way too low of a score. I think they gave it like, was it like a 57 or some bullshit like that? I'm like, dog, this was, how are 57% of critics only liking this? Like, that's criminal. It's 46% of critics were like, only 46% of critics were like, this was a good movie. Insanity. Nah. I'm a critic who recommends it. I'll be in the minority. I don't care. It was so good, dude. I had a really good time with it. I'd give it like a very solid 7 out of 10. I would not go higher than that because I think, I agree. I think it was a little long. I don't know how you would have shortened that movie because of how ambitious it is, though. Like, I wouldn't. It's one of those situations where it's kind of like a catch-22. Like, it's too long. Like, anyone with eyes can see that. But I would not cut a single... I wouldn't shed anything from it at the same time. Because it's like... But then it wouldn't be, like, so ambitious and ballsy. So, for me... I don't know. It's a tough movie to talk about, and I love movies that have a lot to chew on. And there is so much to chew on with The Mummy, including some toenails. Over Your Dead Body is next. I am really excited for that one. Samara Weaving horror flick, kind of a horror flick, more of like a slapstick horror comedy that's dropping at the end of this week. It's Samara Weaving. You say Samara Weaving's in a new movie that's horror adjacent at the very least. I'm there day one. Sign me the fuck up. So I'll be seeing that at the end of the week too. Hopefully we'll have some sort of review on that one. It's going to be fun. Jason, thank you for being a member for as long as you have. I greatly appreciate your support here. And I hope you're going to be digging some of the other horror movies that are coming soon here, because we got a lot of good ones. A lot of good ones on the way. Hey from Winnipeg. What's up, Corey? Thanks for the good vibes. We appreciate that as always. Happy 420, friends. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Dude, thanks for being here. Appreciate you a bunch. And it's 420, so everyone's in a better mood. Everyone's in a slightly better mood, right? Like even Ella, who had to work today, who's saying they gave us pizza, so it's cool. Pizza at work? I mean, come on now. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Scott's behind the table on air. I think I know where Scott is, guys. I have a good feeling. My intuition is telling me I know where Scott is right now. Good evening, Jake. Good evening, all. Good evening, my friend. How are you? Welcome, Scott, who is behind the table and on air. I am kind of behind a table right now and also on air. Is Scott behind me? He's right behind me, isn't he? Robbie and Three Cats is saying, I got the impression, by the way, it was done that the end of Bloodlines was actually a premonition itself. I do love this theory though, because it's so interesting. It absolutely could be, and I wouldn't be against seeing those characters again. Stephanie and Charlie, honestly, some of my favorite characters from the whole damn franchise. But I made a video about this a little while ago, and if they do bring them back, I think they still have to die. That's very important to me. I feel like everyone dies in Final Destination. And everyone will, I'm sure someone will point out Kimberly Corman, who is technically still alive and rumored to be in the next movie or have some sort of involvement. That would be dope as hell. But she's got to die. It's Final Destination, dude. I don't want it if not everyone dies. I wouldn't want to be in it if I don't get to die in some sort of brutal way, you know? That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And I also feel like it's not a slasher movie. You know what I mean? It's not a slasher movie where we can get out of this situation. It's the celebration of some morbid bullshit, you know? So and I think it's just a really interesting franchise for that reason. So I'm definitely excited to see what comes next from the series, if we get recurring characters or not, and how that'll kind of change what's come before. But I don't know. I'm open-minded. I'm down for whatever. I just want more. I just want Final Destination 7 in my eyeballs already. Joseph is also with us tonight. Thanks for talking horror. What's your favorite kill from Scream 7? Mine is where Ghostface disembowels McKenna Grace's character. That's a good one. I think I'm with you, dude. I think that might be my favorite. But I think really almost all the kills in that movie were pretty damn fantastic. So I know I'm very negative about Scream 7, but the kills, top notch. Can't disagree there. I will say some other favorites are, the beer tap one is just outrageous. And I kind of love that. Like, it's just so ridiculous of a kill. And it almost feels Terrifier-esque in that way. It doesn't even feel like a Ghostface kill, but I kind of don't mind, because I'm like, this movie's so wild and out of the range of Scream anyways, we might as well have some Terrifier kills in here. But I truthfully, outside of the McKenna Grace one, I think my other favorite was just the opening scene, dude. Lighting, was the character's name Madison? Lighting her on fire and then leaving her in Stu Macher's house, I mean, is crazy. That's a really good kill. So that was really solid. Opening scene was really good, I think, for this movie. The more I think about Scream 7, the more I really like that opening scene. I wish it connected a little more to the rest of the story. Like, there's a very loose connection. I have criticisms of the film, but I'll be fair. I get why they set it at Stu's house. I get that. But I wish it did have a little more impact on the overall story. It kind of just happens and then we move on from it. That's how it feels. Where, you go back to a lot of the other movies and it's like, oh, that opening scene just sets this whole thing into motion. That's not how it really feels in Scream 7, but it's still a cool scene. I can't deny that. Scream 7 has some cool scenes. Again, there's some great kills in there, man. But I think definitely the McKenna Grace kill. I would actually, and again, to Scream 7's credit, I would go so far as to say that's probably my second favorite kill of the whole series. That's probably number 2. Olivia Morris, I mean, that's always going to be number 1. That's just, that's so brutal. It's so over the top. I love that kill. But the McKenna Grace one, that's probably number 2 for me. That's really solid. What else is going on? We got Scott saying a new Chromebook, new Gmail, and YouTube. Doing good here. Hell yeah. Got all sorts of new stuff going on. Got a fresh start for Scott over there. I love that. Some good shit right there. Jason Carpenter saying Primate was legit. Yes, it was. I had a really good time with that. Ooh, that was fun. It's a fun watch. Fort Misery Gaming is saying Jake WrestleMania last night was hype. We had a vampire and a word I'm not going to say show up and they cursed everyone. Amazing night. Okay, rock on. Well, I'm glad it was fun. I'm glad it was a good time. Noah Music is saying, how about 2 guys in a bathroom with snow? Listen, like I said, spend your Saturday night however you want. I'm down. You can do whatever you want. It's all good. No judgment here. Joan Sclafani is hanging out with us. Thank you so much for being a channel member. I greatly appreciate you. Hello. Welcome in. Who puts the first Scream movie at the bottom of their Scream ranking, says the Jester. Oh, I think we're starting a fight in the chat right here. No, I'm joking. I jest. Rank the movies however you want. It's the best part of talking horror and franchises and bullshit. We also got Joseph saying, Jake, do you know Avenged Sevenfold? If you like horror, you'll like their song A Little Piece of Heaven. I've heard some of their stuff for sure. I wouldn't say I'm like the biggest fan ever, but it's good stuff. I am a metalhead. I do love me some metal music. I like 90s music is my cup of tea. Personally, I'm all about the 90s. That's what I listen to probably the most. So I mean, like horror, alternative, like not horror, words, metal, alternative, like all that kind of stuff in that little space. So I like everything from, Slayer to Smashing Pumpkins, essentially. But some really good stuff from that time period. But I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place music wise, but mostly 90s stuff and 90s and 60s stuff. So that's typically my favorite. I do like a lot of modern music though too. I think that some of it gets a bad rap. If I'm being honest, I think a lot of the people who, maybe grew up, maybe older folks are not crazy about newer music, but there's some good stuff nowadays for sure. Sloppenheimer is saying some interesting Scream 8 directors are the Filippo twins, Ari Aster, Ty West, Osgood Perkins, and Zach Krager. I mean, there's a universe where that could happen. Is it this universe though? I don't know. I would love to, me personally, I think Christopher Landon would be my, if we could just do anything, I would make Christopher Landon the director of whatever comes next. Just let him do whatever the fuck he wants. That would be awesome. Yo, Erica's throwing $2 out there saying halfway. Hit the like button if you haven't. Thank you so much, Erica, for the support. I greatly appreciate you. If you haven't liked the stream, honestly, at this point, I don't know what else I could do to make you like the stream. I guess I'm just going to go cry in my corner if you don't. If you don't like the stream in the next 5 seconds, I'm going to piss my pants. And you'll never be able to tell if I'm telling the truth because you can't see my pants right now. So you might as well like the stream. Otherwise, things will get wet and bad. That's all I got. I don't even know where I'm going with that anymore. Erica, thank you for the 2, though. Thank you for the support. And yeah, we are halfway to that goal, which is pretty damn cool. I appreciate y'all for that. It means a lot. Wayne is saying, Samara Weaving, my fellow Aussie. Nice of Hugo Weaving. Started her career in Aussie TV soap, Home and Away. Sharni Vinson, you're next, and Chris Hemsworth all started on that show. Oh, I didn't know that. That's dope as hell. Sharni Vinson is someone who needs a little more love, a little more respect. I want to see her in more stuff, dude. She's really good in Your Next. And Chris Hemsworth is fucking everywhere. I mean, come on now. But yeah, cool. Very cool. Very cool. Samara Weaving, fantastic in everything I've seen her in. I mean, she just brings a level of professionalism and just understanding characters very well. She's just super, super awesome. Want to see her in more horror movies for sure. I mean, she made Ready or Not 2. Let's just be honest. The cast made Ready or Not 2. A very fun film. And I want to see her in so many more horror movies and projects and things. Freddie Guevero is saying, what's good, bro? It's all good. It's all good. We're vibing out. Things are great. Astral Austin is saying, but didn't death skip Kimberly after she died and was revived? Yes, but I think that to me, the whole point of the series is to say that, we're all going to die. It's inevitable. It's just one of those things. It's a dark and grim topic that we don't always like to talk about, but it's part of life, And I almost feel like the point of Final Destination is to say all these characters are going to die. They're going to try to fight their way out of it, but maybe they should have just been enjoying the time that they had. And I think that that scene in Final Destination Bloodlines with Tony Todd says that so well. And it's almost like it almost goes beyond the film itself. It's almost a little meta in a way. Tony Todd going down, knowing that he's going down in real life, delivers that. And I mean, you can feel it. You can feel it in the film. You can feel it's going to be one of his final performances in that moment. And you're just like, oh, I mean, it hurts, but it's like, here's Tony still having fun on a film set, having a good time, vibing out, making Final Destination 6, and he's going down. That's fucking awesome. I mean, that is how life should be lived. And I think, to me, that's like the whole point of the franchise. Yes, is it a popcorn movie that shouldn't be taken that seriously, Jake? Yes. But at the same time, I do think that's kind of the brilliance and subtle elements to Final Destination that make it something so special. So for me, at least, I don't think we should have recurring characters. I think if a character lives through one, they should come back and die in another. That's how I see it, at the very least. It's all about the fact that we can't avoid death no matter what we do. And that's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Big Brisk Yo is saying, you ever seen The Night Flyer? No, I actually have not seen The Night Flyer. And I've talked, I did a video talking about a bunch of Stephen King movies one time. And that was one that came up and I was like, ooh, that's interesting. 97. Yeah, you know what? I've actually watched parts of this because I wanted to talk about it in the film. And I don't think I watched the full movie, but I have seen like scenes from it. It seems like a really cool idea. It's like a plane comes into a small airport in the middle of the night and it's carrying a vampire. Ooh. I mean, really cool idea. I have not seen the full film, but I bet it's cool at the very least. So I'm gonna have to check this one out. There's so many weird little Stephen King movies that don't get talked about, and I think it's a shame. I think it's a real shame because there's some good ones out there. One that's currently out of print. What's the Rat movie? I always forget the fucking name of that. It's out of. I remember it's like actually out of print, and I was like, oh man, that fucking sucks. They're not like they don't print like they don't make copies of it anymore. Graveyard Shift. And I actually own a copy of this, which I guess it's a little hard to find now. The movie's not fantastic or anything like that, but it is just really interesting. Really interesting. Underrated, weird little story. Again, no masterpiece, but if you haven't seen Graveyard Shift, I kind of recommend it as a weird little hidden gem. It's got some crazy practical effects and an interesting, at the very least, story at its core. Maybe some elements to it that haven't aged too well. But I still recommend it because I think it's fascinating. It's just the fact, you think about Stephen King movies nowadays, and then you go back and watch some of the 90s or 80s ones that are lesser known, lesser talked about, and you're like, whoa, I never knew anything about this. So I still think there's a lot of, they're doing so many Stephen King properties nowadays that have already been done so well. Mike Flanagan's doing this Carrie series, and that's going to be great. I'm sure it is. But I would love to see Mike Flanagan or other great filmmakers tackle some of the lesser known Stephen King stuff like that. Night Flyer, or Graveyard Shift, or some of these other stories. The Monkey. I mean, The Monkey was great, dude. I loved Oz Perkins' take on that. That was so much fun. So I would just love to see more movies like The Monkey, where it's like, here's this weird ass Stephen King story that maybe you've never heard of, and we're bringing it to the screen in a way it's never been brought to before. So that's really what I want from more Stephen King stuff in the future. Give me Welcome to Derry Season 2. Give me the Carrie series. Give me all these fun things. But I'm really, really, really excited for some of the weirder Stephen King stuff to get adapted. That's maybe what I'm weirdly the most excited for. Give me some more Stephen King movies about some crazy bullshit. Jake, would you rather see a mashup team movie of Michael Myers and Chucky or Dexter and Jigsaw? Dexter and Jigsaw, without a doubt. I mean, those two characters, that would be such an interesting relationship. Because they're both similar, but not the same. You know what I mean? They're similar, but not the same. And I think they would have arguments about how to go about doing what they're doing, And that would be really interesting to me. That conversation I would kill for. Dude, if someone hasn't made a fan film of that, my God. I don't know how you could, but get Tobin Bell and Michael C. Hall in a room together. That would be so cool. I'm shocked there hasn't been more crossover between Dexter and Saw. Like, I know Julie Benz is in Saw 5. We brought that up in a Dexter video recently, but I'm kind of shocked there hasn't been more crossover there. That's like two very similar things that were happening at the same time. So that's interesting to me. Big Briskio was saying, you ain't cool unless you pee your pants. You're damn right. You're damn right, Big Briskio. If you haven't peed your pants, you're just not really that cool. I don't know what to tell you. Final Destination acceptance. I love that. They all just get trashed and then like just die in inexplicable ways. That's so funny. Another recent film that doesn't get enough press is Marshmallow. Fantastic original premise. You are so right, Ben. And on top of that, it's actually getting a sequel. So we made enough noise about Marshmallow, thank God, because dude, I couldn't agree more. That was a really fun watch. And you know, when I got to the end of that movie, which I won't spoil it because twists on twists on twists, when I got to the end of that movie, I was just like, fuck, I want more of this. Like that last scene, I think is the best part of the whole movie. Twists and turns are great beforehand, don't get me wrong, but that last scene is like, oh, I want this to be the whole movie. That was dope. I am so excited for another one. If they make another movie, I guarantee you it will be better than the first. And that's going to be a really interesting franchise to see blossom. So Marshmallow, guys, if you have not seen that film, criminally underrated. It presents itself as a slasher, but it's kind of something else. And I'll tell you that because I know some people walked away from it disappointed because they were hoping it would have been a slasher. But it does kind of transform into something else, even though it maybe starts in a place like that. That's all I'll say about it without giving anything away. But give it a watch. Try that one out because I think it's an interesting. It raises some interesting questions about the slasher genre, and it does some weird, crazy bullshit that I'm all about personally. We also got Nicholas Brady with us, throwing 5 out there. Thanks for talking a little horror with us tonight. Thank you for the support. Yo, Jakey Jake. What's up, Nick? How we doing? Are you going to check out that upcoming horror film, Hokum? Looks like it's going to be a banger. I think you would be right, Nicholas. Yes and yes and yes. 100% yes. Hokum, I have been hyped up for it all year. It's a movie coming from Mr. Damian McCarthy, a director who is on the rise and has made 2 fucking phenomenal horror flicks already. Caveat, which is over on Shudder. It's a slow burn, but it's so worth it. It's so worth that wait. There is one of the scariest and creepiest little scenes at the end of that movie that I think I have ever seen. Oddity, kind of the same vibe. Slow burn horror that just builds tension the entire movie and then punches you in the gut in the last 10 minutes or so. And man, I mean, this guy he knows how to deliver a slow burn and keep it interesting throughout. And Oddity may be even better than Caveat. I loved them both. I think they're both great movies. Oddity just really did it for me, man. I saw that movie in theaters and I was like, that's another one where the end of the movie, I'm on the edge of my fucking seat. I'm like, no way, dude. Oh. So Hokum, I think this could be his best movie yet. Oddity had an even stronger cast, I feel, than Caveat, and now Hokum, I think, clearly has an even stronger cast than anything Damian McCarthy has done before. We're working with Adam Scott here, who may be one of the most versatile actors in the space. I love him so much. Does not get his flowers often, and he should. Dude is great on, in comedy and doing romance, doing horror. I mean, he's done everything from fucking Severance to Piranha 3D. This guy is all over the place in the horror sphere. So Hokum, I think is going to be great. I'm so excited for it. It's a movie I've been hyped for a very long time. And I remember when the trailer or teaser or whatever came out towards the top of the year, creepy as hell. I mean, I love Damian McCarthy's style. And if you like slow burn horror as much as I do, I think Hokum is going to deliver. It's going to be that movie for you this year. So Hokum, definitely hyped up for it. That's in 2 weeks here. And it's 100% on my radar. We will absolutely be covering it. I believe we got the final trailer for it today, if I'm not mistaken, too. Sorry there was no horror update video today, by the way. I did not sleep this weekend because I was getting Dexter videos done. Got behind with all the CinemaCon stuff last week, but big ol' nasty update video coming early tomorrow, hopefully. And we will be talking about Hokum in that video because if I'm not mistaken, I think we did just get a trailer for it. But yes, very excited to talk more about that, and I cannot wait to do a review. But Nicholas, thank you for the 5. 100%, I think that one's going to be a banger. Keep it on your radar, ladies and gentlemen. Jester is saying, I'm signing out. I've got wrestling to watch. I'll see you next stream. Hell yeah, my friend. Thank you for being with us. I hope you have a good time watching whatever wrestling is going on in the world today. I hope it's sweaty and bloody. Does that read? Rock on, my friend. Thanks for being with us, though. Quick Stop Dante. Ooh, is that a Clerks? Is that a little Clerks reference right there? I think it is. What's up, my friend? How are you? Game recognized game. Little Kevin Smith action out here. I think Art does it the goriest. I think he does. I think he has so much fun. He's so much fun doing it. You know, I think that's my thing about Terrifier. I've heard people talk about it and they're like, oh, I can't stomach those movies. They're too much. I just think because of David Howard Thornton's performance, because he's just a goofy little guy having so much fun, laughing at everything he does, it gives like pretty much every scene where he's just viciously ripping people apart some levity. And I almost look at the Terrifier movies as like horror comedies in a way. I don't know. I love them. Like, I think they're great. I know some people, like, just from the outside look at them as like, oh, they go too far, this and that, whatever. It's all, to me, it's all jokes. It's all like, this is just silly, crazy BS. And I love that. So I don't know. The Terrifier movies, they crack me the fuck up. They're hilarious. I will be seated for any and all Terrifiers in the future. Fort Misery Gaming is saying, Jake, have you ever read the backstory of the Universal original houses like Jack the Clown and Dr. Oddfellow? No, but I have heard that there's like a lot of lore to all of that. And guys, if you have not done Universal Horror Nights, like the Hollywood Horror Nights or whatever, it's so good. I mean, I think it's the best haunted house experience out there by far. It's so intricate, it's so detailed. And I've been honored to do it at least one time, which was cool. Like, I got to go in 2022. I want to go again, but it is so expensive. It's crazy expensive, but it is worth it. I mean, it's worth every penny. The food is good. The haunted houses are great. It's amazing. I'm sure there's some awesome fucking shit there too, in terms of lore, in terms of, you know, the things that they kind of do to bring people back every single year. I think that's a really cool element to it that I just love. So I love the Universal Halloween Horror Nights stuff. There's people who like just talk about that in the horror space, which I think is really cool. I have some friends, shout out to Yurdy G and Nick White, all of those folks in my radar. They like had a podcast for a little while, and I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but they were literally just talking about like sometimes new movies, but mostly like Halloween Horror Night, Hollywood Horror Nights, HHN. That's what I remember what it's called. Universal's haunted house stuff. They were just talking about that and speculating and talking about all the different houses. I thought that was really cool because, man, that is hype as fuck. Like, I get just making content about that year round, just having a channel all about that, because that is really exciting stuff. I wish I had the money to afford that and make that like part of this page, because I would do more of it. I really would. But man, it's a hefty ticket, especially if you don't live near one of them. Because I'm a little far away from Florida and or Hollywood, sadly. But it is dope as hell, and I would love to get into it a little more if I could. Jason is saying, interesting fact about Adam Scott, his first movie was Hellraiser Bloodlines. And it's so funny because if you put that movie on, he's instantly recognizable. Like, he's wearing a wig and it's a period piece, the scene that he's in, but no, you won't miss him. It's like, oh, that's young Adam Scott right there. Like, no doubt about it. And it's really funny. Such a weird movie, man. Hellraiser Bloodlines. It's a bizarre film. Maybe not as good as Final Destination Bloodlines, but definitely a wild one. YB Coreline is going to have to sign off. Great stream. Don't forget to kill it out there. Thanks for being with us, my friend. I appreciate you. Thanks for talking a little horror. MB is saying, hi, my boy Jake. That would be I. Any brand new updates on Scream 8? Now, you know, we shockingly didn't get anything at CinemaCon last week. I really thought we would get like at least a mention. Like, hey, Scream 8, it's happening. Thumbs up, baby. Kind of nuts. We didn't get anything. So sadly, not a whole lot, but it's probably, we're kind of in limbo with Scream right now for a little while. Scream 7, that's still all the rage. I think right now that we're still promoting that film now that it's on digital, and it's slowly going to be dropping on streaming probably any day now, any week now. So that's still kind of what I think Paramount and all them are focused on. But soon, I'm sure we'll get some more Scream 8 announcements, and I'm sure we'll get some more updates. Hopefully good stuff. Fingers crossed. Austin Allman is with us. Thanks for being a channel member. I appreciate you. Jake, have you heard of a movie called Heal? The poster and premise looks insane as hell. I've heard of this. I don't remember what it is, though. I have 100% heard of this. Also known as Heal. Maybe this is it? Is it the dark comedy movie that is about the dog? About the dude who has a leash on him? Maybe it is this movie. I'm not sure. If that's the same movie, I'm curious. Let me know. Ben is saying The Strange Harvest needs to be watched. Oh God, Strange Harvest is so good. Dude, if you haven't seen Strange Harvest, that movie kicks ass. Love that movie. Ooh. Strange Harvest, it's a fun little like mockumentary, essentially, detailing this like killing spree that may or may not have been supernatural. So it's a really cool idea for a movie. I think that's a little underrated. That one kind of got panned when it came out, I feel. And I was like, I had a good time with this. That was creepy as hell. It felt like it was just continuously escalating. And I love movies that do that. I love when movies just keep kind of building off of what came before. Jake, you can make a YouTube channel just on HHN and blow up just from the news, even if you can't go to the events. But you're going to talk about something all year and not go to the thing? I'd be disappointed. I wouldn't watch that guy. Can I be honest with you? Like, I wouldn't watch the guy who just talks about it. I want to watch the guy who talks about it and then goes. You know what I mean? Like, way to edge me out, dude. Come on now. I do want to, at some point, I will cover that, dude. Like, dead serious. That will be a part of this channel at some point. Because, dude, HHN is awesome. It's a horror fan's wet dream. I'm so serious. I mean, even if you're not if you're just about like one franchise or the other, that's your main thing. Maybe it's not for you, but like in terms of like, do you want to be scared? Do you want to see some scary shit? HHN is the place for that, man. I mean, they have the original haunted houses and mazes or whatever are fucking scary. There's little scare zones where they have different people dressed up and shit, and it's fucking great. It is a vibe and a half. So if you just like Halloween, like that kind of energy, and you go there, like you're gonna have a good time, no doubt about it. So man, I would 100% cover that at some point. But I want to, like, if I covered that, I would want to go. I feel like that's like part of it for me. And maybe I'm just an overachiever. Maybe that's just who I am internally. But I would have to go if I started covering it. I feel that's a commitment right there that I want to make, but I don't think I can. So at some point, though, we're all of us are building to things, right? I'm building to that. That's going to be my future. It's my 5-year plan. It's being able to cover HHN. Super Tenor is with us. What's up, my friend? Hey, Jake and the gang. Jake and the gang are all hanging out here. What's up, Super Tenor? Welcome in, welcome in. Wayne Turner is saying When Evil Lurks is a disturbing horror movie. It is. Dude, that scene with the dog is unforgettable. Whew. Oh, man. It's crazy. We had some news regarding Demian Rugna. They're doing an American remake of one of his other films called Terrified. And I'm kind of excited to see what that's all about. Terrified was a cool little movie. I think I definitely liked When Evil Lurks more. But if you haven't seen Terrified, it's a really interesting little watch. Feels like it's a lot of like little ghost stories is kind of what the movie essentially breaks down to. And Noah Hawley, who did the Alien TV series, which is in production right now for season 2, he's directing it. He's going to direct the remake, reimagining, whatever. And that's exciting to me. That's really, I'm like, okay, hey, dude, Noah Hawley did a really good job with Alien Earth. So I'm excited to see what he does with this. It's a totally different ballpark we're playing in now, So bring it on. Let's see what that's all about. But love When Evil Lurks. That's another one. Again, it's an international movie. You got to read some subtitles. I know some people that turns some people off, but read the subtitles. Trust. Just do it. Super Tenor's throwing $2 out there. Rock and roll, baby. I love it. Little devil horns in the chat. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate it. And especially thank you for the devil horns. We always need a little bit of this. Especially on the day of the devil's lettuce. That's why the set is green, in case you're just joining us. Anyways, Fort Misery Gaming is saying there are tons of Universal content creators who just do year-round news, including HHN, without going to the park all the time. See, like, that would bum me out though. I'd be like, why aren't you going though? What's up with that? What if I covered Scream 7 and I didn't go and see it? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the same. That would be the same thing, in my opinion. It's like, oh, you're going to talk about it, but then you're not going to go to the theater to see it when it releases. You know? I'd be a little bummed. I'd be a little bit like, huh, what's up with that? What's going on there? What's happening there? I do want to talk about it though. 100%. I would like to get more invested in Halloween Horror Nights stuff. And you know, I am thinking about branching out the channel a little more. You know, I know a lot of people have. I'm just gonna be real. The channel's in a really good place right now. I was extremely worried about how the channel would do post Scream 7 because I knew we weren't gonna get a ton of news immediately. And typically the page, you know, dips a little bit when there's no Scream stuff going on. But I will say that the channel's in a really good place, and it's because of I've learned a lot in the last 6 or 7 years, and I think part of that is branching out into other things and not just talking about the same shit over and over again. So maybe Halloween Horror Nights is on there. Maybe it's on the table. You know, maybe it's something I do cover at some point. I need to learn a little more about it though. I don't want to just start talking about it. There's a few updates that I haven't covered, for instance, because I just don't really. It's either I don't care or I don't know too much about it to talk about it. You know, there's a really big announcement last week about World War Z 2 is finally happening. I'm going to be honest, that's a movie that I did not care for at all. Like, it's like the most popular zombie movie or something like that. I think it's garbage. I just don't like it at all. Have no love for it. I'm not going to talk about it on the page. But I promise you, if I would have made a whole video about that, it would have done some numbers. But I'm not going to talk about shit that I either don't have a passion for or don't really know all too much about. Like, you're throwing lore. There's lore to Halloween Horror Nights. You know what I mean? Like, I should know all that shit if I'm going to talk about it on here. So that's a really good, interesting idea, though. And I'm going to dive into that. I'm going to do some lore reading and research. Let me be a little intelligible about said topic, and then maybe I'll start covering it. But I'm not against covering new topics, just for the record. I'm always down for that. But I want to know what the hell I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I think that's important. That's why I don't talk about wrestling, for instance. Because if I talked about wrestling, I would not have a clue of what the fuck I'm talking about. And truthfully, the only thing I know about Halloween Horror Nights is the one time I went, and it was dope. It was great, but that's really all I know about it. So I would want to know some of the history, all that fun stuff. MB is saying, Jake, did you hear about the original plan for MTV Scream Season 3? Emma's dad is the one who killed Kieran, and I feel like we're spoiling the show right now, but that, you know what? It's been a while since it's been out. And the third killer, also the killer takes out Audrey, Brooke, Gustavo, Sheriff. You know all the character names from the show. That's amazing. I probably should know that. I've only seen the show once. And I guess I just didn't love it as much as I do the movies. But that is crazy. I really have been thinking about doing some more coverage on Scream the TV series, because that is such an interesting situation, that show. I want to love it. Maybe if I rewatched it, I'd love it a little more. So that is something I'm considering for, like, going through a TV series at some point, doing the rest of Scream. Might be something we do at some point. And maybe diving into, like, shit like what you're talking about, like what the original plan was for the show, fun stuff like that. That could be cool. That could be some cool stuff right there. Austin is saying, I've never seen Dexter, so I don't watch those, but I drop likes. Would love a Scream Queens reaction sometime. Scream Queens is I never watched that show, so that actually would be a good one to do a first time watch of. I am thinking about breaking it up from not just doing Dexter, some other stuff along the way. I haven't seen all of Channel Zero. It's another show that I really want to watch. And Bates Motel it's probably been the most requested. Bates Motel I've seen from multiple channel members, Patreon supporters have sent me that. I believe that won the poll last time. I put out a poll recently for Patreon and channel members asking, like, what other shows would you like me to watch? Bates Motel was the one that was leading. I want to say Buffy was, like, that's been one that's a lot of people have asked. Never seen Buffy before. So much, like, horror television I just totally missed. So I'll have to check that out. Have to do some digging on that. Wayne, hang on, pause for a sec. I have all 3 seasons of Scream the series on Blu-ray. Do you? Because like, dude, I can't find it. That's another reason why, like, I was actually gonna, dead serious, I was gonna start this whole reaction series with Scream the TV series. I couldn't find all the seasons on Blu-ray or DVD, one or the other. Wayne, if you had, like, legitimately, if you have a link or something to like the full, or anyone who knows this, if you have like a physical copy of Scream the TV series seasons 1 through 3, all 3 seasons, please let me know about that, because I looked it up too, and I thought it had come out that they had never done some sort of physical release for season 2 and season 3. I could only find season 1. So if you have a way of getting that whole show on Blu-ray, please let me know. Because yeah, that's something I really want to cover. The only reason I haven't is because I need a physical copy to cover it. So let me know. Let me know if that's something I can get my hands on at some point. Jason Carpenter is saying, Jake, did you see Cody just dropped a tier list video ranking all 85 of Blumhouse's movies? Oh, that's fucking dope, dude. I'll have to watch that at some point. Cody Leach is awesome. Love him to death. Super cool dude. And I love his content, so I'll have to check that out at some point. I'm curious how he ranks all those movies, because there are some movies that you didn't even know were Blumhouse, that it's like, oh, that's a Blumhouse movie, huh? It actually would almost be unfair if I ranked those movies, because there's one that I don't even know if it's technically Blumhouse. It's like one of their side divisions or whatever. It's a little movie called Whiplash that like would take the top spot. That's one of the best movies that has ever been made. I'll die on that hill. So shit like that would get intense. You know, that would spark some debates. It's like movies that you don't even know came from Blumhouse. It's like, wait, what? That's on the list? I didn't expect that to take the top spot. That's crazy now. Wayne is saying that you can get you can get all 3 seasons of the Scream series from China on eBay. Wayne. Wayne, what's going on here? what's happening right now? No, I'm just messing with you. There's a link to a box set. Please, for the love of God, email me this, because I'm dead serious. I would love to do a reaction to it, but I can't find it. I found like Reddit page, like there's like Reddit threads of people talking about where can I get the whole show, and no one can find it. And I for Misery Gaming, I see you trashing on season 3. I know, but if I was to cover the show, I would watch the whole thing, you know? Even the crappy last season. I'd still watch it. I'd still do it. I'm a completionist. I got to get through the whole damn thing, you know? I got to do it all. We'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. It's kind of how I feel. Yeah, if someone has the link to a box set, please send it to my email. killjoyjake1@gmail.com. I want to cover that so badly. There's a direct link right there if you're able to click. I'm so sorry, but I have links blocked from folks. We used to have bots that would come in here and share sites to certain websites that would rhyme with corn, if you catch my drift. So sadly, I don't have any links here, but if you could send that to my email, that would actually mean the world to me. Seriously. I'm going to put it in the chat, because I'm so sorry to ask you to do something like while we're all supposed to be chilling and talking horror, but like that would actually mean the world to me. I just put it in the chat. If you can send that to me, dude, like Chase, you're a hero. You're a hero if you can send me, if I can figure this out. Because man, I want to cover that so badly. I need to do a rewatch. I've seen the show one time, and literally it was because people were asking me about it from comments. So I was like, I'll be honest, I was skimming it. I was like, let's go through this fast, you know, so I can talk about this. Let's see what's up. I should make that happen. Oh, Wayne is saying it has never been officially released on Blu-ray. If you catch my drift, I do catch your drift. I gotcha. I wonder if I'd still be able to cover that. I'm curious. I'm gonna find a way to cover it eventually. I'll find a way. Might not be today or tomorrow, but it'll happen eventually. We'll do Scream the TV series live watches on here at some point. You send me an email, Chase. You're a legend, is what you are. On eBay from China. Okay, right. I'm not going to click that right now, but I do appreciate you a ton. Thank you. Really does mean a lot. Hannibal's another one I've been thinking about for Misery Gaming. Yes. Hannibal's another show I've never seen before. Dying to watch that. Love the Silence of the Lambs movies. Like, just almost all of them I think are great. A lot of them are underrated, so I'd have to, yeah, I got to sit down and do that at some point. They're on eBay, huh? Okay. I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check that out at some point. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to sign off, sadly. But we will be live again tomorrow, and we'll be talking some horror. I will be playing some games probably tomorrow as well. Tonight, I'm just, well, it's, you know, it's a time to celebrate, as they say. It's time to celebrate. Let's just say that. Chase, yeah, thank you again, my friend. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for helping out. It really does mean a lot. Thank you to everybody who supported the page tonight. So much love to you all. We'll have some more horror news tomorrow. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Goodbye.